Hi, I'm Stuart Baker, and welcome to another installment of the Chamber Talk. This week we have Rick Partridge, who is volunteer extraordinaire in the community. And so the reason I selected you this month, Rick, was when I saw, I don't know where I saw it, but the list of all of the volunteer activities you're involved in. So pretty impressive. Tell me, just give me a list of some of maybe your favorites, or not, I'm sure all your children are your favorites, but
Absolutely.
Maybe some that stand out for you. I heard about like the Citizens League, for example. Maybe
Sure.
tell us about that.
I'll hit the highlights.
Great,
Thanks,
excellent.
Thanks for the invitation.
Sure.
So quick, just backstory. I've been up here full-time 3 years now, after retiring from teaching at San Jose State for 12 years, and was up here 3 years before that part-time. So the connections I made when I got here 3 years ago, Sheila Cameron was the primary one, and she connected me to Wendy Willoughby at the Center for Nonprofit Leadership, and that connected me to basically social justice organizations that I had been involved in throughout my life. Nevada County Pride is the one I've spent most of my time on the last 3 years. I'm also on the board of Color Me Human. A few others that I do include the fun ones, not that those aren't fun,
Right.
but I'm the Nevada County Coordinator for Northern California Golden Retriever Rescue.
Adorable.
Boy, there's a few other.
right.
Two friends of ours started a public tennis league 3 years ago during COVID. We're up to about 45 members.
Nice.
You've seen me, I think, at
I
the
have,
tennis
yeah.
courts at Pioneer. So that's kind of how I'm spending, some portion of my retirement.
Okay, all right. So it sounds like you have a busy day, any day, because of all of these different commitments. I'm curious because some of our listeners are retired, some of them are considering retiring. I mean, how do you make it all come together and work? And tell us a little bit about that. And
Thanks. Good question. I think if you were to ask for my suggestions, it's really a balancing act that you have to figure out, and it changes a lot. I didn't jump in like 100% 3 years ago. I started building up. I sort of divide my, if I had a 40-hour work week, I'm not working 40 hours anymore.
Right.
I spend probably a third of my time on the volunteer work, including you mentioned I've been through the Nevada County Citizens Academy, as well as the Sheriff's Academy. We can talk about that later.
That would be great.
I also spend another third of my time doing the things my husband and I enjoy and why we moved up here, which is hiking and swimming and going to the river and playing tennis. And then there's still a third of my time left to do home stuff. We have 8 acres, we have a big garden, we have 2 golden retrievers, and I do lie on the couch and watch Netflix.
Okay,
too. So
all right. So
that's the balance
human.
for me. Yeah, that's the balance for me, and I think everybody has to find sort of what works best for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the Citizens League, I'd never heard of this before, so tell me why you were interested, what they do, and how our viewers could maybe participate if they like it.
So the Citizens Academy, it's run by the county, and that's one of the things that Sheila Cameron suggested I do fairly early on. I'd lived in Atlanta for 20 years, big urban city, lived in San Jose for 20 years, big urban city. I'd been involved in boards and commissions there, and coming up here to the rural area was a lot different. And Sheila says politics works kind of different up here, relationships work different, nonprofits work different. Go to the academy. So my recollection, it's 10 or 12 weeks. You meet once a week. You hear from every department in the county and how it all works. You hear from the supervisors about how that all works. I liked it so much that I signed up the following year to take the Sheriff's Academy that Sheriff Moon runs. And the same thing, law enforcement for me had always been about City of San Jose Police or City of Atlanta Police. the whole county sheriff thing was brand new. So both of those, if you go to the Nevada County website, they're offered every year. I think one's in the fall and one's in the spring. Highly recommend them to learn about.
So if I understand correctly, is it a way that for you to learn about things, or do you do things as a participant in the academy or helping out the community?
No, we learn.
Okay.
But it's two-way. I'm still in touch with so many of my classmates from both of those. I met Celine Negrete, who is on your board, I think.
Right. She runs the Onyx.
And we were in both academies together. And so building relationships in the community and connections, I think has been, for me, the most valuable part of the investment in those two academies.
Okay, great. So you mentioned too the Golden Retriever rescue mission. Yeah, so sounds super adorable. Tell us more about that one.
It is a lot of fun. Had done that in Atlanta. We're on either our fifth or our sixth rescued Golden Retriever.
Okay.
So coming up here 3 years ago, having done it in San Jose, there were no dogs available. Remember during COVID? The shelters emptied out. NorCal Golden Retriever Rescue, which typically places around 150 to 200 Goldens a year. And we are in about 17 counties in Northern California. And then we started getting more dogs in, and they continued to come in. We'll probably hit another record-breaking year this year with dogs that went to homes during COVID. Nobody was working, nobody was going to school. They started going back. Sammy's is full. You know, I coordinate with the other shelters, and when they get a Golden Retriever, I'll take them and place them into a permanent home. If you're looking for a dog, I might have
I would like
have an 8-year-old for you. That's in one of my fosters right now. We had a 1-year-old a few weeks ago that my husband and I fostered, who's now gone to a wonderful home down in Sacramento. So it's very fulfilling work.
Nice. No, that's great. That's great. And so what was the original impetus for that? Was it just a love of dogs, or what's the particular with Golden Retrievers, just character-wise?
I'm a little biased. They're the best dogs. Labs are pretty close. The demeanor is there. My husband grew up with them. I grew up with them. And so when we first got together, that was the first thing we did was we got Golden Retriever puppies originally. And that is fine when you're just using old college hand-me-down furniture. And then after you can afford real furniture, you don't want puppies anymore. So we started getting older dogs that had been through the chewing stage and just started to work doing volunteer work with that.
Nice, excellent. And you also mentioned Nevada County Pride and Color Me Human. What's the difference between those two organizations? And if someone, say, wanted to be involved in a Pride supportive group, which would they choose? Could you describe them both, maybe?
Great, thanks for asking. Well, I'll do the differences first. Nevada County Pride has been around for 40 years as the Western Nevada County LGBTQ plus organization. It was a social organization originally. Met in private homes for potlucks, majority white men. And I'm happy to say in the last 3 years we've sort of evolved a bit. My board of directors now has more women than men. Nice. Which I'm super psyched about. We also have 3 openings, so we're always looking for folks. We do events. So for instance, if you would go to nevadacountypride.org, you can see our calendar for June. We are so busy. We raised the flag in downtown Nevada City on June 1st. The Chamber is very involved in that, and we thank you. One of the best things about kicking off the month and then seeing the flags throughout the month. We have a big Pride Family Picnic on June the 9th at Condon Park. We're doing the Onyx at the Nevada Theater on the 16th. I could keep going on and on. So we're educational, we're fun, we do events, we're raising awareness. Color Me Human has been around for only 4 years, but the mission is very similar for BIPOC and LGBTQ folks. And we're hosting a Juneteenth celebration at the end of June. So a lot of outreach, a lot of education in the community. We're one of the, I think the top first place or second place majority white county in the state. And so we're just trying to do things in the social justice space to make BIPOC folks and queer folks come here and feel comfortable.
Nice.
Both really important things to me, very fulfilling work.
And so looking down the road to like your next volunteer opportunity, what are you kind of mulling over? Is your plate full and you can't even think about anything, or are you considering what else is out there?
Well, I'll answer it a different way. I'll tell you what it's not.
Okay.
Because I've been asked this for many, many years. It's not politics.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was head of my neighborhood associates in San Jose for like 7 years. I said, when are you going to run for city council? I'm not. When are you going to run for this? It will not. And people are already asking.
Yeah.
I think right now I want to continue the work we're doing at Nevada County Pride, which is a goal toward having a gay community center here. And that's a few years out. We're doing some strategic planning with Color Me Human now. That work is exciting. It's going to be announced in June. Maybe more golden retrievers coming into the house as fosters.
Okay, excellent.
That's about it for now.
Excellent. Well, that's great. All right, Rick. Well, thank you so much for coming, and very exciting. Hope it was inspirational for you when you think about helping out the community and giving back. And we'll see you next month. Thanks so much.
Thank you.